If you're coming to Las Vegas and looking for something fun to do on a Saturday during the winter months, then you found the right video. This is Brian Pfeiffer. I'm the owner of partyplan.com, and I'm going to talk to you guys all about the bottle service at Lavo Party Brunch, which is the best thing to do on a Saturday during the day in Las Vegas from October until March. Let's go in and check this place out. All right, if you guys are coming to Vegas during the winter, I often get asked what's good on the Saturdays, the brunch, etc. And most of the time, there's not really that much going on. But during the winter months, we actually have a really cool party. It's called Lavo Party Brunch, and it's at Lavo Italian Restaurant inside the Palazzo. But it's actually turned into a full-on party from about 2 o'clock on. So let me tell you all about this place and the different options as far as like where you can buy tables, bottle service, etc. Now, there used to be a dome called the Marquee Dome, and that was another competing venue from the Tao Group. But unfortunately, they didn't do the dome this year. They're remodeling Marquee. But next year, apparently, they're going to have a dome on the brand new Omnia Day Club on the front of the Caesars Palace right on the Strip. So they're going to be competing with Lavo Party Brunch and the pool party, it looks like, next year. The only other pool party that is open during the winter months is called Stadium Swim, and it's really only good on sporting events unless it's a really nice day, happens to be like a 75-degree day or something in the winter months. Then it might be decent on those days as well. But let's talk about Lavo Party Brunch, getting into this place. You know, if you are a girl, they're going to cater to you. They want women in there for sure. And they do give the women, I think, free drinks from, 12:30 to 1:30. They let you come in a little bit earlier, around noon, and let you go out on the terrace, drink some rosé. I think they call it the rosé terrace. That's what they give for the girls. Now, as far as guys go, I do believe you can get in for free as well before a certain time. You can just go to the link below, fill out the form. A promoter will reach out to you. I'm not a promoter. I'm a VIP host. I don't know all the deals with the guest list every single weekend. That does change a little bit based on the demand. Like, for instance, Super Bowl weekend will be a little bit busier and probably a little bit different rules for the guys. They're obviously going to try to make the people buy, sections, because you can't sit down anywhere in there. If you just come in on the guest list, there's nowhere to sit. You're just going to be hanging out by the bar or on the terrace or in the main room, but there's nowhere to sit. The place is really designed for, sitting. Okay. Each table has like a chairs. Think of a banquet hall. You're going to have chairs all around the table. That's what you're going to be sitting at. So when you buy bottle service, you're actually paying for the seats. Okay. So if you book a table for 6 and you end up showing up with 7, there's going to be a problem. Okay. There's only 6 seats at your table. So, just keep that in mind. If you are ended up having like 10 or 12 people, book the table for 10 or 12 people so you have the right amount of seats at your table. That's just the way it's set up. It's not like a booth at a club where you can be standing around. This is a brunch. You're going to be ordering food. You're going to be hanging out like a restaurant almost, and then it turns kind of into like a party. All right. So let's also talk about the layout of this place. When you come in, it's basically on the right. There's going to be some entry-level tables, and there's going to be a bar, and then the main party is going to be kind of on the left in the middle, and there's going to be a big DJ in the middle, okay? The DJ is going to be usually DJ Lima. He plays like a little bit of EDM, a little bit of a hip-hop, but mostly like the EDM favorites and the classics and stuff like that. Multiple times I've been in there this year. It's always been pretty much EDM, pretty much every song I've heard before, so it's a good party. I mean, he plays a lot of the hits. I like a little bit newer tech house type of stuff, but, it's good enough for the crowd that's in there. He likes to play that, and everybody seems to enjoy it, so it works good. Now, as far as the food goes, it's pretty expensive, okay? It's going to be a high-end Italian restaurant, and the brunch food, they got these like extravagant things like seafood platters and waffle platters. They're expensive, okay? The minimums are pretty high, and it's not cheap, okay? This isn't going to be like something you go to at IHOP, for example, or Cracker Barrel. This is going to be like the higher-end level of brunch, so expect to pay that when you come into this place. Now, also, one thing to remember, when you come in, don't bring any weed. The Palazzo is a federal licensed casino, and the Lavo Brunch is inside the casino, so they don't allow weed in the casinos. All right, so you can buy it here in Vegas, you can smoke it on the street, you can walk around with it. They're not going to arrest you, but they're not going to let you bring it in. All right, so just leave it at home. You got to go check it in, or going to leave, or have to go stash it. It's just not worth it. All right, now let's talk about the different options for the bottle service. That's where I come in. Make sure you text me at 702-883-3006. That's my cell phone. I can answer any of your questions. Now, there is different levels of the tables. Obviously, if you spend more, you're going to get a better table, but obviously it's going to cost quite a bit more. Now, keep in mind, to every bill, you're going to add the tip and tax. So whatever the minimum is, you can safely assume that it's going to be 44% over there at the Tao Group. That's tipping the waitress 20%, their venue fee, which is like ridiculous, like 15%, and the taxes, which I think is 8.375, I believe, comes out to 44%. That's just the number. So 1,000 minimum is going to cost you $1,440. All right. Now, if you come in on the lowest minimum, that's generally going to be the terrace. Okay. They're going to have like $500 minimums out there. there, and you can get a decent table outside, but that table is outside and the main party happens more like inside, okay? And you're kind of risking the weather being iffy. It's been pretty nice this year in Las Vegas, so we haven't really had to worry about bad weather, but every once in a while it'll be like a cold or a windy day or a rainy day. If you book that terrace table, that's going to be outside. That's what you're going to be dealing with. But most of the time, usually it's pretty nice. It's going to be around the 60s or 70s even, and it's decent out there. You can have a nice time, have some drinks, have some food. You're really not paying for the party when you buy the terrace table, okay? They do offer some bar stools as well. I did notice if you're like a guy and you just want to have a place to sit at the bar, $200 minimum range, you get a place to sit, which is kind of cool, and you can still be a part of the party with a place to sit. All right, so that is an option nowadays too. They didn't really have that option before, but they do now. Now inside, there's going to be kind of two entry-level areas. There's going to be the entry level to the right when you walk in. There's a couple smaller tables also by the terrace area over there. Those are your entry-level tables. Low minimum, $750, $1,000 minimum range, 4 people, 6 people type of thing. Those are okay for that. You're in the main room, you're part of the party. All right, there's also a catwalk that they rarely ever see these days, but when it's busy enough, they have this catwalk that overgoes the main room, and then there's actually an upstairs to Lavo. If you guys didn't know, back in the day, you see a Lavo Casino Club up there, and it's a pretty cool room. Actually, I've rented it out for private events and whatnot for different corporations, but they don't really use it that much anymore, just for private events. And there's a catwalk that overlooks the whole place, and they have some seating up there, and they sometimes put that on sale as well. So the entry-level tables and the catwalk tables kind of around the same price. Now, the next level up is going to be your standard tables. The standard tables are going to be, just a little bit further out from the center of the room. And those are good tables. Like I said, all the tables are going to be like your banquet style tables. It's just a table with the chairs around it. All right. It's not like there's a few booths in here, but it's not too many booths. It's mostly just chairs on tables. All right. And then the next level up is going to be like your prime, just a little bit closer to the DJ from the standard. And there's going to be some good tables. I've had the standard tables and they're just fine. The prime tables are just a little bit better, but they're not that much different, to be honest with you. Now, there's a couple that they do have tables that are in this area called the birdcage. Those are considered standard tables. If you're looking at the DJ on the left, there's an area that's kind of like sectioned off, but it's like fully open with a curtain. So the curtain can be closed. If it's not busy, they'll have it closed and we'll seat in there. If it's busy, they'll open it up and they're going to have the tables in there. Those are also considered standard tables. On busier days, they might even consider those like prime tables. Okay, it just depends on the demand. They can play around with like what's standard or what's prime based on the demand. So that's just the way things work over there. It's all a supply and demand system. They're going to maximize the room. So there's the entry level, there's a standard, there's a prime, and then the next level up is going to be your center of the room, okay? And the center of the room is going to be like the 3 sections in the middle right in front of the DJ, all the way back to the back wall, and there's a nice cool like owner's table there on the back wall. Sometimes you'll see some of the towel group owners guys like Jason Strauss or something back there with a bunch of girls, and that owner's table is pretty cool looking straight onto the DJ. But those tables in the middle, those typically where you're going to find your like NFL players, just finishing up their football season, and they're finally on a little break or whatever. That's where you'll find those guys, or potentially some celebrity type people. Those are going to be the guys in the center. All right, so it's a pretty good party. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but I'm not a big drinker during the day on Saturdays, so I'm not the best person to ask. If you ask my girlfriend how it is, she loves it. She really loves that place. So I've had 2 customers this year that one guy had a great time. He enjoyed it. We did a standard table. I had another guy that did a prime table, and the guy that did the prime table, these guys are from Europe. They felt it was kind of a little bit overpriced. So, it is what it is. The other guy that came, he was also from Europe, and he told me that he thought it was a good value. So, it just kind of depends on your take. If you're splitting it up with a lot of people and, you got like 6 people, everybody's chipping in, it's not all that bad. Probably figure around $500 per person for the, the food and the beverage for the whole day. So that's kind of what it ends up working out to be. All right, so if you like my video, I would appreciate a like on the video. Do subscribe to this channel for more, and bang the notifications bell. We do put this place in some of our packages, so if you wanted to do like a Lavo party brunch, maybe do a limo there and back, or you want to do like an atomic golf or top golf afterwards, or another activity, bachelor parties. The 2 guys that I had for the European guys that were here for bachelor parties, so we did some other stuff that day, like, gun range, etc. So there's all kinds of cool things to do here in Vegas. We do have a package system below. Make sure you click on that. Make sure you download that party plan app. Use that tool to plan your vacation, put your full itinerary in there, communicate with your group, keep track of all your expenses. It's a great tool. It's free to use anywhere in the world you're traveling. You can use that tool. I'm Party Plan Brian. Text me at 702-883-3006. Let's map out your Las Vegas game plan and set up your Lavo party brunch reservations. I'm looking forward to working with you. Let's talk soon.